VINCENZO'S Go Crypto Investing, and this is breaking news, and this is a major, maybe next shoe to drop. COINBASE shutting down U.S. affiliate marketing program for influencers. And you might say, well, that's just influencers. They're not going to get any kind of, when someone uses their thing, you get a little bit of, you get paid, you get a nice little, you get some money for getting people onto their site to grow their site, right? And Market Insider, Business Insider, just as bad as fucking Bloomberg. We'll just go here because they're not going to make me sign up for shit. But that's a huge thing. If they can't afford to pay their marketing anymore, that's a big red flag. And they might be the next shoe to drop as the first big exchange. They're not a lending platform. They're a trading platform, and they just went public, right? And their stock's on the stock exchange. This is a major red flag, and this is another shoe to drop. Maybe that Coinbase is they're tipping their hand, just like Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, and a couple of those other ones that halted withdrawals so you couldn't get your money off, and then a few weeks later filed bankruptcy. This is the first red flag that there's major problems at Coinbase. They just laid people off last month. I believe there's going to be more mass layoffs at Coinbase, and their stock is in the shithouse, right? We have shithouses on our charts. They're in the shithouse, right? Their stock and them are in the shithouse. And this might be, if you're on Coinbase, I use Coinbase, but I only got $50 on there because I don't really hold crypto, right? You might want to think twice about Coinbase right now. If you have any kind of major money on there, move that money off. If you have a bunch of Bitcoin or whatnot, put it on your Nano, put it on your Ledger, and get it off their site. Because when you start hearing and seeing things like this, you do not want to be risking. If you have more than 5% of your net worth on Coinbase, get it off. If you have any of it, really get it off. Any substantial amount of money, I would be very cautious about being on Coinbase. Seeing this news, this is the first shoe to drop. Even though they say they're all right, Coinbase stock price is down 80% from where it started a year ago, right? The company posted a $430 million loss in the first quarter of 2022, underperforming Wall Street. See here, like Coinbase, people are asking me, there was a question if Coinbase was safe. And I said, it's possible that they go bankrupt, right? Less likely than some of the other ones that are out there. Or like the lending platforms, but this isn't good, right? And they're obviously pinching pennies right now. And this is why if you had to choose between Coinbase and Robinhood, even though Robinhood's only got about 9 cryptos on there, they got Solana, they got Litecoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Shiba Coin, Matic. The reason I would have Robinhood over Coinbase is because Robinhood is protected under the normal trading. It's like the FDIC for banks. But if you have your money on like any kind of trading and investing platform that trades stocks in the United States, like a Charles Schwab or a TD Ameritrade or a Robinhood, Webull, right? They're protected up to $500,000. If, say, Robinhood went bankrupt, you would get your money back from the federal government, right? The crypto sites are not like that. Even though Coinbase is in the U.S., it is not. They're separate. They're not covered under that. So if Coinbase goes bankrupt, you're out all your money, right? So this is a major red flag. I would not be keeping large sums of money on Coinbase right now, or really any exchange, right? If you're trading crypto and you make big profits, get your profits out of there, right? So if something did happen on any site that you're using, you only have trading money on there. But if you make a huge trade and make, say, $10,000, take the $10,000 out of there and then just leave your money that you're trying to make quick money on. As soon as you make profit, you got to get them off these exchanges, because none of them are safe. Coinbase is third globally. Binance and FTX are hoping to seize their opportunities. Stateside, the three crypto giants have different established customers base and are trying to steal each other's market share. Retail investing comprise around 95% of Coinbase transactions revenue, although institutional accounts for most of its trading volume, according to its latest quarterly filing, right? FTX is, well, best known as catering to more sophisticated traders through its diversified offering, which makes it the majority of volume, right? So this is breaking news, and this is a major red flag with what's going on in the crypto market, and that needs to be that you need to be paying close attention to that. You can see the U.S. dollar, it had a down day, and it's down. Actually, it's had a nice reversal from its big blow off top, which appears to be looking like, or a local blow off top. Come on. Based on the inflation numbers that came out the other day. Let's get back into there. You can see we had a huge pump, right? And now we've had a pretty nice reversal from its top yesterday on its big wick top. And it's down almost 1.25%, 1.18% going into the close on the weekend. And now what I would look next week is for this to come, for this to come down and retest. If we zoom out to show you what I'm talking about, what we've been in this big rising channel, and usually these are bearish reversal patterns, right? They're bullish continuation patterns, but usually they break down. But these can be bullish continuation patterns in a bull market, and this did break up. But if it comes back and back tests this and fails, it's going to come back down in the 4-hour time frame towards the bottom part of that lower support, just conveniently enough, right where the 200-day moving average is down by about the 106 spot 598. And then that would give the equity markets next week, leading up to the following week, where the Fed's going to raise rates. It could lead the way, which is kind of what I think is going to happen. You're going to get a little bit of a stock market rally, a dollar coming down, and that could let the crypto market rally too, because that's going to lead into the week following is the Fed raising rates. And if they see the stock market holding up, even though they say they don't care about the stock market, that'll give them more incentive to give another 1% rate hike. That's right, you're hearing this at Old Vincenzo. I think they're going to do a 1 full basis point rate hike, and I believe that would be the highest rate hike since 1980, right? And I think that'll give them the confidence they need leading up to it, with the stock market pumping a little bit off its lows, and then the crypto market subsequently may pump. And gold, I think is going to continue down, because it's going to find a bottom, and then gold's going to one day just like that do a big reversal, and it's going to start to pump, and the dollar is going to start to crash. But I think the dollar could continue to rise through the end of the year, and maybe even into the first part of next year, until the Fed starts to reverse course, and then the traders start to sell off the dollar, because they see the printing presses starting again and the monetary stimulus. But I think that's not till the end of this year or next year. I think it's going to be after after the November election. But we'll get into that more with my fiscal and monetary policy Friday episode. I'm going to release later tonight or tomorrow, because I traveled today. But you can see Bitcoin still in this pattern. You got upper resistance, lower support, lower support, lower support, and then you got resistance, and now you're trying to trade back up to resistance. And essentially what this is a bearish continuation pattern, and that's what I was trying to show you guys earlier today. And you can see we've had what I was talking about earlier, how Bitcoin got here. If we go out to the daily time frame, you can see we had to get rid of this, not get rid of it, but do that, and then do this. You can see what we had in Bitcoin. We had this big mountain double top one, just like I told you, the multi-year bear market started as soon as you broke that rising wedge. If you watch some videos from the springtime of 2021, And I believe all this was a huge, massive bear market rally. And as soon as you got up here, and it actually, usually in a bear market rally, it's fierce, which this was, to make people think the bull market's still going. I thought it was going to top out right up in here before it started, because it would have made sense. This old upper resistance, right, support and support, and then a lot of people were trapped up there, and that's usually where a bear market rally ends. And you can see it started to come down and had one final pump, and then it collapsed again. But I think this is going according to plan, where I thought this was the start of a bear market rally, where I circled in green, and it turned out to be a mountain double top, the most bearish macro pattern that you can get as far as a turnaround pattern, and then in this case a topping pattern. And all through here I was telling you there's a big collapse coming, right? And how you do a mountain double top is you go from the top of the mountain double top to the neckline, right? And then you bring it to the point of a breakout. And the breakout happened to be way over there, and you can see where it gives you your target of $13,336, right? And that's how we knew that that was going to happen. And then you can see on the initial breakdown, right, on the right shoulder, as you could call this, or the right side of the neckline, you had a big bear flag. And the way you do a targeted move on that is you go from the top to the bottom of the flagpole and then to the point of a breakout. And if we do that, you can see exactly where this gets you. Let's delete that. This gets you, you go from the top to the bottom to the point of the breakout. Right, you could do it from up here, because this is kind of where it broke out. And look at where this got you down to. 20,000, 23,000 if you take it from up there. But if you take it from the breakout, it gets you right down here to about 20,000. And that's why that brings you to your right next to your old all-time high. And that's how we knew when this was consolidating there, that it wasn't done consolidating. That was just a midway consolidation in between that and the ultimate target. Because if you went from this mini bear flag that it made right here, and if you watch some videos when we were diagnosing this out, you go from the top to the bottom to the point of a breakout, and that got you to the same spot too, right? And so we knew we were coming down there. And that was just that was just a consolidation to get you down to fulfill this bear flag technical target. You had to have another consolidation halfway down, and then you did break down. And now I believe that you're going to break down from this one, and you go from the top to the bottom to the point of a breakout, and that's going to actually get you just below the mountain double top technical target and bring you right down here to $11,000 is where you could get a bounce. Once you come down into here and you hit the top part of this white support box, you may get a substantial bounce from there after a lot of selling will be taking place. But there's just lots of bad news coming out right now, and that Coinbase is just the next shoe that's putting bearish sentiment and bearish pressure on the overall market, right? And you can see Luna is collapsing again, and my man wanted to look at Luna. He wants to look at Luna Classic, but Luna is the same thing. Luna 2.0. Let's go to Luna Classic. He's trading this because all the hyper volatility in it. So if you look at this, he wanted some technical analysis on here. Where is this at? We got to go into here, and then we got to go to here, my VIX volume range profile. You can see they've separated the Terra Luna Classic price, and they've brought it on here on this chart from after everyone lost 99.999%, right? So you can see what you had there. You got a bunch of sell volume up here. So if we mark that right here, see how the volume, there's a big gap there. You'd come up to into this range, and you'd put this as major overhead resistance up there, right? And if you get rejected, this would be a spot where there would be some buyers right there in this little skinny area. See that? So we're going to mark that in white. So right now, what you're looking at is you're coming up against major overhead resistance. You see this? This is major overhead resistance because there's a lot of sell pressure up here, right? And this is what, see the big gap right here in the black area? You got that big volume in the candle right there, and then there's very little trading there. So the price will go straight up through it and straight down through it. So if you're longing and shorting this, you would buy this on a breakout from here and then run it up to upper resistance. But on the flip side, when it's going to come back down through here, you can short it and it's going to dump right back into this white zone, right? So either A, you're going to come up like this right now, meet major overhead resistance and sell back off, or B, so it's going to look like that and then sell back off and come back into a support zone, or B, you're going to get rejected right here and trade back down into this white area. And right now, if you're looking at it on the daily time frame, you can see these big wicks up here. See how you had these big wicks up here? That told you there was a lot of sell pressure, and then eventually the price rolled over. Right now, you've had two candles, one big wick, and now another one. You're already starting to come down on that in the daily time frame after you pumped up initially to start, but you hit that major volume. If we zoom into the daily time frame, you can see right now, see what's going on here. What looks like is going to happen here in Luna is if you can't hold these moving averages, you're going to have to come back down here and try to find some buyers again, right? So if you're trying to swing trade, I would wait till it came down into here, and then you could hope and pray that it had a nice bounce back. But Luna, to me, it's not even worth, well, you're just trying to swing trade it, and you've done it very well. But as long as you know this is not something you want to be in holding longer than a day or two, because this thing's eventually going back down to zero. And even though it's pretty damn close to zero, like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Peace and love. Peace and love.